Hollow 9. Keep it tuned in to TFAU. Like, we share everything on TFAU, including all of our casting notices. So anyone who is not happy just having one part on Tangent City, where we'll have plenty of parts to come as we wrap up season 1. So
I'm glad I only got one part.
Wait, how is it sexist that I like quilting? I'm confused.
It just does.
welcome to the 7 Psychopaths.
Here's Ripka.
There are so many creative people in the TFAU. It's not about being average. It's about being better than average.
Exactly. Orgasmatron. Normal shit doesn't cut it anymore.
If that's where we need to go to spark a new original era, fucking go for it.
This is what Boost should look like.
Unfortunately, it had a kind of abrupt ending. But up until that moment, it was quite a good show.
And that's how it works. That's how it works on the high seas, I guess. I don't know.
Look at me. I'm a fucking pirate.
Nobody is safe. If you're listening to this, you're fucking dead right now.
This is explaining the anal loop quite a bit.
You're totally preparing for that Oscar acceptance speech, aren't you?
That has never been a better segue than I think for us to take a moment to thank Drew for pulling the Terraformer Artists Union together.
You gotta embrace it because there is a lot of truth in every stereotype.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
Some shit.
What are you not saying?
And I love the way he gives us our quotes.
Yeah. But here's the thing though. When we do the show, we do it for the audience. We don't do it for ourselves. It's not an ego thing. It's not a pride thing. The audience is number one. That is
totally
everything to us.
So we want to meet them in person.
Absolutely.
So hopefully that is our goal this year.
Yes.
After they talk about sex a lot more.
Yeah.
They want to meet him in person.
Come to the live show.
Guys, has anyone ever been to hedonism? That's where you should have your meetup, right?
You can come to the live show or you can come at the live show. It's all good. It's all good.
So hedonism is where that would happen, and that's what I was trying to imply.
Cole's sitting there like, let me get the fuck off of here.
And even Blaine's like, all right, I am kind of thinking I'm done with these.
This is weird. This is weird.
He's like, I've been made fun of twice. I haven't said a goddamn thing. They're going all over the fucking place.
So, Lynn, what are your final thoughts?
And even I didn't get it over to Blaine. I'm like,
Yeah, it's an exciting time with what's going on right now. I think there's a lot of things that I think it's naturally just podcasting's been around for a long time. I think people are just, they've got the itch to get creative and do something different. And we're really seeing what's possible now. And it's exciting. It's exciting for me to see what's going on. I love to see the creativity. And I love that I can give a platform to people that are being creative. So, hey, anybody's got ideas, anybody here, anybody watching, like get in touch with me and let's, I really like that Mile High can be the place for the home of audio dramas. Anything creative though, get in touch with me. So that's it. That's my
So what do you think, Drew? Radio. What do you think, Drew? Do we go to Blaine or we go to Sandwich?
I think we go to Sandwich because he looks bored as fuck.
All right. See, we fucked you again, Blaine. We're going to Sandwich.
Good God, that's brutal.
I'll make this quick because I think everybody already. I'm the Ranting and Raving podcast to do it with my co-host Chris, who I tried to get on tonight, but he was busy. We talk about movies, music, and sports, and we try to make jokes about that stuff.
I don't think you have a co-host, honestly, because every time you come on the show, you always say, "I tried to get my co-host on, but he's busy."
You'll have to listen to the show because he's hilarious, and he
is funny as hell.
He works in independent film. He does a lot of his own projects and stuff. Sometimes
he's very busy right now.
Yeah,
he's always busy.
And then I write comedy screenplays, some that are going around festival circuits and winning some things and stuff like that. So,
woohoo!
That's me. Blaine, you're up.
Oh no, you don't get off that easy. You got to give us a little bit more.
What more do you want from me? Listen to the show. I think I'm pretty funny. I think Chris is pretty funny, and it's an enjoyable 40-minute episode every week.
It's on Mile High Radio on Saturdays.
Yeah, we're honored to be on Mile High, and I don't know. I think we're pretty good.
Can we get a schematic description of a titnardo?
Well, that's Drew's idea.
Wait, so then you were the toothy vagina half of
No,
that?
also Drew. If you go back and listen to the toothy vagina episode, you'll find that I actually introduced a real topic.
Yeah. Tyrus came up with a real plot, and I just came up with a silly title.
And then Drew was like, yeah, that's funny, but what about a toothy vagina? And I was like, well, it's your show,
China.
so.
Oh, shit.
Hey, that floor looks good, by the way, Sandwich.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was a long time coming. That carpet was a piece of shit. Now I look like I actually have a little money, which I don't. So, so there's that. Isn't that just what adult life is? Pretending that you're richer than you are?
Yeah, pretty much.
I just got into it, so I'll let you know in like 5 years.
I'm on the right track then.
Unless you're talking to a bank or to a tax man, then you've got less money.
Yeah. But I need to pay more.
I'm so skint, I can't even afford colour on my fucking camera.
I know, dude.
He's
I was totally going there when you
professional
came.
of us all, though, with the black and white.
Makes you look less pale.
Yeah, that's about it.
So where did the whole concept of the Rant and Raven podcast come from, though?
It was my co-host Chris. He was doing an independent short film that he had self-produced, directed, starred in, wrote, and then he wanted to do a podcast behind the series for it. So we did that. He had me host an episode. He was like, "Hey, that was really good," and I was like, "Yeah, we should probably do that more." And then here we are, like 120 episodes later, and still going strong.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
120 episodes, dude. Like,
that's a
what keeps you guys going?
Yeah.
Love.
Each other.
That's
cute.
weird.
I don't know. 'Cause
Maybe
I
you guys
think
Ricky.
I always
Fame,
like
money,
to-
and the women.
Yeah, exactly.
The three things you don't have. You're still back here.
Cocaine off high-end escorts in Miami.
I have both.
That's very NPH of you.
No, I always push that to be natural and honest in your podcast because that's what we are. Like anytime we'd hang out, we'd spend 2 hours talking about movies, music, and sports. And I was like, we should just do that for a thing. And he was like, yeah, good idea. Let's do that thing. And then
Can that thing be money though?
Yeah,
Let's talk about money, huh? What the fuck?
We'll
How do
see
we
you
get
all
the
back
money?
when we come back for Spaceballs 2. The search for more money.
right, money. Patreon.com/ranting podcast. Where you guys are
Have
picking
any
it
of
up. I
you
gotcha.
have any of you had any success on Patreon? Seriously.
Never used
Find
it.
success, not negative.
Okay, well that's good.
We haven't started our Patreon yet, but we have a very significant Patreon strategy. That
you
is
know where I made my money this season? Believe it or not, I had one person who wanted to advertise with me. No shit. One person who made me a decent amount of money. And it wasn't because they expected anything. It was just because they liked my show that much. That they were a guest on my show. And they said, you know what? You deserve to get paid for what you do. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't like, no, and it wasn't like $100,000, you know, but it was a decent amount of money to somebody saying, you're good at what you do. You know, I hope you go far. Here, invest this money. And it wasn't my mom, because if anybody, you'd think it'd be your mom who invests.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a family member. It was a guest of my show who said, you know, you're good at what you do. I hope that you take this money and you invest in what you do. And so from that, I got my host. I really dove into the actual podcasting part, not just the Facebook Live part. And it was weird because they sent me fucking money via PayPal, and I checked my PayPal account and I was like, well, okay.
Well,
like,
apparently
it wasn't fun.
Apparently they didn't send you Zoom money. They only spent you hosting money.
No. If somebody's already paying for Zoom, I'm not going to go ahead and pay for
No, that's not right. Fuck me.
You had to play that
That
card,
dumbass,
right? Actually,
yeah.
you know, you go and fucking ruin it for everybody.
No, it was just a nice gesture. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, no, that's
Like,
good.
that's
That's awesome. That's really awesome. The only person I know who ever made anything off of Patreon was I can't even remember the guy's name. He was a nice guy.
Patreon.
No, seriously. There's a podcaster. He was in this group that we all used to be part of. That I'm not going to mention, but he used to be part of it, and he did this thing called Random Transmissions.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
That guy, he made more money on Patreon than anybody I've ever met. He was literally
Justin. Wow.
I have no idea who it was, but was it Justin?
It was Justin.
Okay.
Justin
Yeah.
Wow.
Justin K. Yeah. He was making $400 a month just on Patreon off the show. Yeah.
Spot blown up.
So
I don't even make that as a male escort, so geez.
I know. I can't even fucking make that anytime.
You become women.
I make like
$100,000 a month. Just
I tried to be a lesbian prostitute and I fucking
Did
couldn't
you?
make that.
You know what the problem was? It wasn't the beard. It was the Rolling Rock.
Shit.
Women can't get down with the Rolling Rock, dude.
I gotta drink more Sex on the Beaches.
No, you gotta drink at least like a Heineken to get women.
Oh yeah, okay.
See, and Heineken's like money.
It's a green bottle. It's a green bottle.
Heineken's gross. Oh, come on. I love Heineken.
Everybody loves a Heine. Anyways, so we've gone to Grit and Grace over at Lynn. Let's bounce over. Oh, I mean, we were at Sandwich. I'm sorry, we were at Sandwich. I forgot everything that you said.
Okay, I see what you did.
I forgot everything you said. That's what hey, that was a great interview. I literally forgot.
What a wonderful host.
No, but folks, go over and check out the Ranting and Raving podcast. These guys are absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Let's go down to Blaine. Tell us about what you got going on, Blaine.
Wait. Before Blaine starts, let's go to someone else.
Wait, whoa. Okay, Cole Johnson. We're gonna go. We're gonna go to Blaine. Blaine, tell us what you got going on, man.
You bad, Dave.
It was fine.
I know.
I'm sorry, Blaine.
When the hell y'all going to shut up?
It's Lynn. It was Lynn's.
We love you. You've
been here for over an hour. You don't know we don't shut up. Just
you literally haven't said a word either. That's the fucked up part.
That's the perfect podcast guest.
You gotta be fast.
We're still not letting him talk.
Chris, can you mute all those motherfuckers right now?
Listen.
I could, but that would not be fucking funny as hell. Go for it, man.
So anyway, I'm sure that most of you know what the heck my podcast is, just trying to break the stereotype of Appalachia and all. And right now, the thing that I'm trying to work on is...
What the fuck's going on with Lynn?
I don't know.
Somebody's under the desk.
So anyway,
she didn't deny
listening
that.
to something on NPR yesterday, and they were having an interview with a lady by the name of Elizabeth Katz, who was kind of giving a rebuttal to the gentleman who I will not name that wrote the book Hillbilly Elegy. And I'm trying to get in touch with her right now to get her on the pie and everything. And of course, as everyone else has mentioned, the audio work that we've been doing with these various dramas and everything, truly love all that. And there's another gentleman who's also in the union by the name of Chris Martinez that I've been working with here locally. He, for lack of a better way of putting it, he's put together a spaghetti western as an audio drama.
I love Chris. I wish he was here tonight.
And I get to play the part of the saloon keeper there. Horace, I think is the actual name. But anyway, and part of the reason that I know him and that we were able to collaborate and everything was because a couple of years ago, while I was trying to build the pie up and everything, I wanted to reach out and just see in the Asheville area whether or not we had more people that were into podcasting or not. So I started the Asheville Society of Podcasters. Little by little, we grew up into about 70 strong just within this little area and everything.
Nice.
And albeit that doesn't represent 70 separate podcasts, because all of you guys know that some podcasts have more people on than necessarily just a one-man show. So we started doing that, and we've been trying to build that up for a little bit. And I've now gotten a little bit more reach going into the Tennessee side, going over the border and all, trying to figure out a way as to whether or not we can expand it into the Appalachian Society of Podcasters beyond that. And yeah, that's pretty much where we are. And then coming up into this next year, I've got the opportunity to not only go back for my third year at the Laugh Your Asheville Off Festival and be some of the media that's just allowed. Holy shit, I got a press pass. Let's be serious. Mm-hmm. And I get to go in and I get to talk to these guys that are coming in nationwide and everything just to be here in Asheville, get their impressions of what it's like to be in the region, right as Chunk comes over and punches me in the leg. And then this next October 2, I believe I've got something coming up with the Appalachian Renaissance Fair for the second time. And
nice.
Yeah, that's everything that I prepared for this shit. So go ahead and give me hell.
All right. Well, I'm glad you stopped talking, because that's the most you've talked in any freaking
forever.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever heard you talk that much. Not even in Tangent City. I don't think you get that many freaking lines in. But
episode 5, he had a good scene there. And
I hope so. Because Blaine, Appalachian Pie, I've been listening to it, and to be honest with you, it's one of those feel-good podcasts.
I feel like it's one of everybody's favorites.
It is. It's a feel-good podcast.
It's a gem.
It's one of those that's for most of the Yankees up here. I don't want to say all of them, but for most of the Yankees, it makes them feel good about the fact that they're a Yankee and they talk more intelligently. I know that's just a dick thing to say. That's a dick thing to say. No, but no, seriously though. Appalachian Pie is a feel-good podcast. It's one of those that you can sit back and chill and just listen to. Whether you're in your workshop, whether you're at work, wherever you happen to be, you can just put it on and just kind of hang out and just do your thing. And that's what I love about it.
And the way I try to approach it is more of a conversational basis, almost like just a couple of friends, like all of us are doing tonight right here, just catching up over a couple of beers or something, getting a chance to BS, give each other a little bit of crap here and there. And on top of it, I try to highlight the real average person that you could run across versus trying to go reach out for celebrities or anything.
Carlos says he feels like he's watching a New York City subway. That's really the vibe we're going for, man. That is exactly what we're trying to go for. We're just, just kind of doing our thing. I'm trying to figure out which one's going to get naked first. My bet is on Drew, but he's not drinking tonight. But he's not drinking. One's going to throw up, one's going to get naked, and one's going to just...
I feel like I'm going to be the one to throw up because I'm the child.
But, no, I mean, Drew... I mean,
it would not be funny if someone threw up.
No, it's not funny. Apparently, it's not funny because both Drew and I have experienced what it's like to have someone throw up on a show. And
are
both
you
of
serious?
us... Yes. Oh,
yeah. Drew even experienced it as Drew is the one doing the throwing up.
Yeah, and both of us got blacklisted for it.
Someone throws up on your show.
Both of us got blacklisted for it.
End the show for you while you're lying on the floor.
How sorry you are.
Were you guys on the same show and you both threw up?
No, I threw up.
No. We were both on the show, all right. We were both on the show for the most
Only
part.
one of you was there.
Yeah.
2 men entered, 1 man left.
No. 3 men entered, 2 men left.
Yeah, Drew earlier than the rest.
It was.
Do you tell them like, "Are you okay?" or do you just kind of end the show? Like,
Oh no,
Act
he
like
was
nothing
not
happened,
okay.
going.
I could tell he was not okay, so I ended up ending the show for him.
It's just a question of sensitivity or metrics.
It was more like it was more empathy than anything.
Oh, see, you're such a great person. Gonna be like, "Oh, we gotta end this." Never heard it again.
Kind of how it went. But the other guest that was on with us ended up blacklisting both of us. Drew not as long as me, but we just discovered the fact that we both got blacklisted for a period of time.
Well, you guys are all welcome to throw up on my show.
What show was that?
That was the 2000
Drinks with Drew.
It was Drinks with Drew 2016. The 2016 It was the 2016 New Year's Eve special.
Oh,
holy shit.
Yeah.
That
there's
pretty
all the
amazing.
information you needed.
It sounds like you should actually have friends for that.
Right.
The show
Right.
started at 5 a.m. my time, and I'd been up drinking all night the night
Oh
before.
my
Oh, yeah.
god.
And I drank a bottle of whiskey on the show.
That'll do
a
it.
full bottle though. It
Somehow
wasn't
he
like
survived to tell the tale here.
Like, the wife almost
That
killed
was
me.
like that was suicide watch moment right
Cole's like, that'll do it.
there. You know, Carlos has asked us in the chat, does anyone remember the couple who had sex on Blab? I don't know what that means.
no.
See that anywhere.
Wait, what?
I remember Blab.
I
Nowhere.
remember a couple on
I was a
Pornhub
blabber.
that had sex once
Yeah,
or
no,
twice.
yeah. I was a blabber. I remember Blab. I was there for Blab, but I don't remember the
The
whole
fuck is
sex
Blab?
thing. Blab. Oh, Blab was way better than anything we got going on in live streaming right now. And I was just
So
going
what
to
is
throw it
Blab?
over to the Cole. Blab doesn't exist no more. Blab was Meerkat, and then Meerkat turned into Blab, and then
feel like
Blab
you're
just
speaking-
disappeared.
Whatever it is, send me the link for it.
Yeah.
It don't exist no more.
No more.
No more.
Yeah, Blab
No more.
Yeah.
Blab disappeared. Carlos,
And I
thanks
ju-
for
I
bringing up
just started
something that
getting
I can't
into
even
that
explain.
a little bit before that too.
But yeah, no, Blab was a live stream platform. It was a platform where 4 people could be on screen at one time. You could have a great time.
Oh,
You could
wait, so
have
it was a real place?
Yeah, it was a real place, but it went away
It
because
actually
they were
existed,
not
just in
monetized.
Ripka's head.
I just made this shit up.
It was a
I
real
made this shit
place.
up. I
It
convinced
was- I thought it was a
Carlos.
Or something.
It was a place like the Matrix is a place, you know.
Yeah. I just convinced. Hey, Carlos ate the red pill, and I got him to believe in Blab. So I'm going to throw it over to Cole Johnson right now. We're going to talk about Cole Sports and some revelations. Tell us what's going on, Cole.
That was an awesome plug.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that's a great way
Trying to segue out of fucking
to lead
talking about
into that.
Blab.
Ooh, how can I follow that?
Easily.
Call him a cunt.
Just talk about the douchebag for about 10 minutes. That's all.
Oh my gosh. The Blab days and Drew vomiting. Yeah, how can I top that? Okay, well,
I'm literally about to Google Blab, by the way. So. Fuck you guys.
well, I will talk about Revelations since tonight is actually the 6-month anniversary of the show.
Yeah.
It is on Mile. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See,
It is on Mile High
does that
Radio.
old hat at this MC thing. Like, yep, that's right. Clap there. That's good. All right, moving on. I like it. I love your style, Cole.
Oh man.
Oh, I appreciate that, Dave. Well, it is on Mile High, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, every Saturday, and the types of guests are starting to really round into shape, and it's a really good show. And for those who don't know what it's about, it is I call it the audio version of a psychiatrist's couch.
Right.
Similar to Appalachian Pie. Shout out Blaine. But I think it's a little different in as much as it's not quite as feel good as Blaine. It's more revelatory and a few people here have been guests on the show. So I saw there was a space that was needed, and I learned that people learn from other people quickest, and that's why the platform is there. And I enjoy doing it. I really do enjoy doing it. And the more I get into it, the better it seems to be. So yeah, Revelations, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific every Saturday. And
where did hold on. Where did the inspiration of Revelations come from? I'm not gonna make it easy on you. I'm gonna push you, man.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
all went
challenge you a little
just
bit.
Bend over and take it, buddy.
Yeah, we can't just bend over. Wait a minute.
Wow.
Some of us can, but not me.
Poor Cole.
Not with my
Where did the inspiration of Revelations
That
come
was
from?
definitely very not PC.
Fuck it. Hey, Drew says Drew calls his freaking guest cunt. What the fuck is PC about this shit?
Yeah.
I'm a black lesbian, dude. Everything I do is PC.
Well, yeah, that's because if we say anything
just
different,
bend over and take
we're
it.
just
I got
fucking
you.
racist, fucking sexist bitches.
Exactly.
I gotcha. Just
Yeah. I love you, girl.
Oh Lord.
there are like 3 conversations happening at once.
Yes. Yes.
How about we let Cole talk since it's his turn?
Hey, it's Cole's turn. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, Cole, save us.
No.
Where did Revelations come from?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Before I continue, Ashley, the sign on my behind says exit only. Now,
Hey,
Ah.
I'm here, buddy. Actually, at all. Anyway.
nice.
I don't
Now, the inspiration for Revelations. I was doing interviews on Cole Sports. Mr. Ripka was a guest, so was Mr. Hanisch, and people were saying you do good interviews, but you may need a wider platform, a bigger net. So throughout the summer of last year, I was just tossing about wanting a good name and wanting a good platform for it. And I couldn't come up with a good name. So I asked around, asked Lynn, asked CJ, asked a few other people, and I got a better feel for it, but I didn't get a name until about mid-July when I went to sleep and woke up, and I just heard this audible voice that says, the name of your show is Revelations. I was like, wow, like that. And I've come to understand that, the root word of Revelations, reveal. Well, that's what conversations are about. You reveal something of yourself, and that's the power. That's the power we all have. We have the power to reveal something quality of ourselves, and that is the inspiration for Revelations. And it was an honor to actually have Ashley be the first person on Revelation.
And Lynn.
Drew's done.
Well, later Lynn, but Ashley was the
Ashley.
first guest on Revelations. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You're a minister, right?
I'm sorry.
Why you're like a Christian minister? You're like a really saved guy. Why
yeah.
do you assist with us?
True.
Do you know what you're getting into when you come on these shows with us?
No, I mean, it's such a great message to be like a minister and really dive deep into people who drink and cuss and smoke
Hang
and all that shit.
out with all of us damned, depraved.
I don't think Jesus. I don't think Jesus would have been. I don't think Jesus would have had a problem with hanging out with all of us. So why shouldn't Cole hang out with us?
He's just a regular
That's
guy.
like the Christian way, dude.
Well, it's funny you all say that, because that's really the model I take after. Jesus didn't have the comfort of actually preaching in a church, because then you didn't have Christians then, and so Jesus ministered in the street, and in the street you didn't have those who were so buttoned up and straightened up and they flew right. You didn't have that. So Jesus mingled with the rest of the people, but he still brought himself wherever he went, everywhere. And that's what I try to do. That's what I try to do. So yeah, look, I've been around people who swear. I mean, my family does it, but do I have, but they drink But do I have to do all those things? No, and I don't have to. And how other people live doesn't dissuade me. I just want to be that light, that understanding of, if you want to see a Christian truly walk out his life, this is how it's supposed to look like. You know,
right on, dude.
You know,
You
no
can
judgment.
be a Christian and a podcaster. That's my point. It's like you really like you're the exception almost to some of us. Not because it's because you're a minister or whatever, but you do not judge us. You let us in your shit, and you do not give a fuck. You're literally just like, that's what Jesus did. That's what I'm gonna do. No shit. Like that shit is
There's
admirable.
a t-shirt right there.
I know,
Jesus
right?
doesn't give a fuck.
Jesus did not give a fuck. He didn't.
This
Judas.
is like, first I want to ask you why you hang out with us. Then I'm gonna like throw a bunch of curses at you in a row and just watch your poker face as they roll right off of you.
That sounds like metalhead.
It's just nice to see somebody who's religious not being a dick.
Well, it's funny too. I didn't realize that you don't drink, and I put a lot of drinking sound effects in under your dialogue on.
Oh, I know.
City. Like Papa Lennox is drinking constantly.
Yeah, the ice in his glass is always going.
Like he's like, I always picture him like talking with his hands and then drinking, and so that's why he's like blinking around.
Well, I mean, it's not that I don't it's not that I don't touch the stuff. I have a glass of wine every now and then, like maybe one or two a year. You know, but I don't abuse the privilege. You know,
yeah.
That's it. So I hope I answered your question, Ashley.
No, you totally did. It's just nice to see people like you associate with people like me. I think that is the beauty of the TFAU, and I think that's the one thing we all really hold true to each other is it doesn't matter who you are, what walk of life you are, we associate with each other, and we love each other, and we're all like the Brady Bunch of us right now.
The Brady Bunch of us.
We are.
I love that.
This is Bunch. This is Bunch. We don't want to get sued. This is Bunch.
This is Bunch.
Oh God.
Here's some sort of a story of a man named Beatty.
Oh man.
Oh my. Wow.
Yeah, you are one of the people who you associate with us. You are not afraid to say who you are. It's almost as if, you know, we're using biblical hyperbole and you're Jesus and we're the fucking disciples who don't know what the fuck we're doing. But you're still willing to reach out to us and understand it.
Does
That's what
that
matters.
make Ripka Judas?
No.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
I will say though,
He's off grassing his up.
I was super blown away by how much love Cole threw, at least me and Hollow Nine and everybody else who participated in their VIP honors show.
Dude.
That was, I think, one of my favorite things to have come out of the TFAU this year.
Do not get me started because
Ashley kicked ass on
that was
too. Oh my God.
favorite.
That was a lot of fun, that episode. And listening to it, like, no matter what I thought it was going to sound like, now I feel like I know what you guys feel like when you send stuff in for Tangent City, because I'm like, I cannot wait for Cole to post this guy.
I've listened to it about 50 times. I've sent it to my mother, my father, like everybody. And what it was, dude, Cole, thank you. And when I say it, this is the first time I was a part of a large, you know, like I'm the young one. I'm the Padawan here. But it was the first time I was a part of something, and like when I listened back to myself, it didn't even sound like me. It sounded like somebody who knew what they were doing.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, and me and my friend, when it came out, like when we were doing the Twitter party, me and my friend, I said, dude, turn off fucking intervention. We have to listen to this shit.
You turned off intervention for the VIP honors?
I know, dude, I love intervention. Intervention Canada, my favorite.
Wait, you guys have intervention in Canada?
Yeah, they do, and it's like 3 seasons.
She's like, yeah, we have drug addicts.
Yeah, we do.
Really
Overdoses, all that stuff.
They're
Yeah.
the worst drug addicts in Canada. But when we listened to it, my friend goes, "That sounds like you." And I was like, "Does it?" He was like, "Yeah, that actually sounds like you." And we kept listening through the VIP, and then we got to the after show, and he goes, "Oh my God, Ashley, I'm pretty sure that's you." And you know, I'm like all new to this shit, so I'm like, "Well, somebody knows me." You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my.
no, it was just nice to be included in something, and something I can take a copy of and just love.
Wow.
And I love it. Like, I loved the fact that you edited the part of me saying, dude, I love you so much. I'm going off the script. Like, you're awesome. Like, you edited everything I wanted into it. So it was just nice for me.
Wow.
You have a big fan of your hair in the chat, Ashley. Christine wanted to say this may not be the best time, but Ashley, your hair and a whole bunch of those heart eye emojis. To top off your speech on a high note, your hair is killing it in the audience. So.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Hold on, girl.
Nice. Oh, hair flip. There you go. All right. All right. For those those in the audience who probably don't know what Ashley was referring to, and thank you, Ashley, for that.
Dude, this shit is awesome.
I do a sports show. It's called Cole Sports. I've done it for 2 years, and the second anniversary episode aired this past Sunday, and Ashley was a huge part of it. Mr. Maresca, he was a good part of it too. Old Sandwich, he was a part of it as well. He was one of the presenters.
Yeah, man. That
And,
was awesome.
And the one smoking a cigarette in the top left, yeah, he was a huge part in it as well. Yeah, go ahead and puff. Go ahead and puff away. Come on, CJ. There you go. Perfect, baby. Perfect.
Oh, Christine Foster.
Yeah.
Yes. My hair girl.
So,
All right, they got a new drink too.
all right. So to describe,
it's in a mason jar. Is that moonshine, dude?
That looks like it is. So to describe the episode in question, it actually is an Academy Awards type of show, and I had a red carpet in the beginning. I had a post show or after party portion afterwards. Ashley hosted both, and the middle part was basically an award show where it literally had presenters and had a monologue and had people who said thank you, earnestly said thank you to me for the show. And I really have to say, you want to know how long it took for me to do that show. I thought of the concept of it back in September. I started in November. So it literally took 3 full months to have that episode the way it sounded to air the way it did. And I mean, when I was finished with it, I was like, whew. So when you hear in the audio, when I had Ashley ask the question, so how do you feel? And I actually said tired. I was really honest. I was like, man, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. But I really gathered so much life when I got back all of the audio from everybody. It was awesome. And like I said to you, Dave, I mean, I now know how it feels when you're listening to stuff for Tangent City. That's exactly how I was feeling for VIP Honors. I was like, oh man, I mean, I wrote this stuff, but I just can't, I couldn't imagine it sounding even better than it does. I'm like, wow, look at this.
Oh, I could imagine it sounding better, but it turned out to be a really good show. All in all, it was a fucking excellent show. And it was one of those things. It was one of those events. I'm going to call it an event because it was an event.
Yeah, it was.
It was an event that I was happy to be part of.
Like I told you, man, this is like my first large podcasting event.
Wow.
And I've only been doing this shit for 2.5 years. If that, like barely a year, actually, when I think about it.
You know what, though?
Like
I think you need to give yourself more credit, because I remember when I first met you and it was like, hey, I do podcast stuff. And you're like, hey, so do I. I'm like, all right, cool. Yo, we should like work together and shit. And you're like, only if you're real about it. And you were very, very upfront.
That sounds
upfront about being like, listen, I'm all about helping, but not if you're fucking coming to me saying help me and then expecting me to do all like everything for you. And
Absolutely.
I think it was one of the first people I met who was like very serious about, okay, before we even fucking take a step further, everybody talks shit about helping each other all the time. And ever since we started working together, that's when Hollow 9 started to have like an increase in visibility, and a lot of energy started to show up. So I think you need to give yourself a little bit more credit for when you show up, you bring a lot to the table.
Oh, yes.
There's definitely something about you that anything you are involved in feeds off of your energy and you make it better. So
yeah, what it was I sent, this is the first time I sent somebody like lines.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like voiceover lines. And I was like, and I asked him, I said, Cole, do I have any sort of like free reign? Can I kind of do this, you know, in my way?
Mm-hmm.
And I sent it to him the way I wanted to send it to him. And he sent it back like, oh my God, that's awesome. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, anybody will say that. But then I sent him the wrap-up show. He was like, "Holy shit, this is good." He didn't say "holy shit," you know. He said,
Wow.
So he was like, "Bless Jesus, this is amazing." But he, Cole really told me, he was like, "This is great." And then when I listened to it, I was like, "Fuck, this is me." You know, like,
awesome.
That's exactly how I wanted you to understand it. When, because I was like, in the totality, because the funny thing is, and I think Dave, you can relate to what I'm about to say. You hear this piece of audio that sounds so incomplete, but you have the full scope of how it is going to sound sonically, and it's like, oh gosh, yes, this is perfect. The flub too, I'll take that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's the best. The happy accidents, man.
I literally sent him a fucking a thank you, Cole fucking MP3 that was just thanking him. It was separate, but he played that shit, and it was just like I said. I've been doing this shit for not even 2 years, but he gave me the opportunity, and I was so thankful for it. And not only was I thankful, I just realized that holy shit, I may or may not have a talent, but seems like I kind of do.
Well,
Yeah,
good,
you do.
because we've already teased your appearance on Tangent City twice now, so you're definitely going to be joining Samson as Dr. Freak, and you're going to be commenting on the Destruction Demons roller derby team. So be ready.
Yes, Ashley, you do have a talent, no question. And
I knew that. It was just nice to hear.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you. And back to you, Mr. Ripka.
All right, so who's next?
Yeah. And I know that's probably going to be the last I'm going to be talking.
I want to applaud Cole for that.
You know, we've kind of worked through everybody. We've had Sandwich, we've had Lynn, we've had Ashley, we've had
everybody.
We've almost had everybody, but we have not had one of the most creative people I have ever known in my entire life, and that is Dave the Clone Maximus. What's happening, Clone?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, well, we always. I mean,
you were an afterthought. You were after.
No.
Right?
I work.
Save the best for last. Yeah.
Well, that's why Drew's going after me. I totally. I work my shit in throughout the whole show. You guys all know what's going on. You know, Hall and I, and where we've got the second, the last act of season 1 of Tangent City coming out, and
what's the name of that network again?
Hollow 9 Network. The word hollow.
One more time.
You would have like a little card you could hold up at the screen.
I do, but it'll be reversed for you guys. But you could take a look at that.
No, it's right.
Oh, wow. It's
not reversed.
Good. Cool. There you go.
Hollow.9network.com.
That's kind of like how it looks, guys. That's how it works.
Nice cards, man. Nice card.
Thank you. And you know what? Staples. I'm serious. Insider tip right there. Go to Staples.
They're not on black.
Get like 500 of these for $20. It's insane. I don't know, man. The black with the red background looks kind of cool, and I think that wouldn't work on a black card as much.
Wait, you said you got that from Staples?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I designed it in Photoshop and then took it to Staples, and then I got like 500 of these for like $20.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, maybe Vistaprint does the same shit. I don't know. Yeah, I'm a whore for either one who want to sponsor us. Basically, that's kind of how that works. So you know, we noticed that after we started doing an audio drama, all of a sudden audio dramas are becoming a little bit of a trend, which is fucking awesome. So we're happy about that. And you know, I'm not going to drop any details, but we actually have 2 more stories that are now in development that are completely separate and outside of Tangent City. So, and
in audio drama form,
probably as big, if not maybe bigger. And one of them is, I will say, the only thing I'll give away about this one, because this one's really, Jennifer has got some amazing creativity. We know the Cifuentes clan is beyond blessed with creativity. And so this next one, though, one of the things we're exploring is designing it for us to share with everybody. So one podcast might do 1 season, and then someone else's podcast will take season 2, and someone else's podcast will take season 3.
Bruce card.
It's backwards.
Oh, I see it right.
No. I wanted him to write it backwards.
So, you know, we've got that going on. We've got an influx of really awesome interviews coming out on Spotlight. We've been talking to some really cool people, like authors and people who are psychologists who do their own horror podcasts as well. So lots of shit coming out. We are trying to figure out a way to get Throwing Games back online, but that is in the works as well. So, just keep it tuned into Hollow 9. Keep it tuned into TFAU. Like, we share everything on TFAU, including all of our casting notices. So anyone who is not happy just having one part on Tangent City, where we'll have plenty of parts to come as we wrap up season 1. So
I'm glad I only got one part. But talk about how, you have so many shows.
Yeah, and we actually have a couple new podcasters that I should point out, and that's Jennifer Earp and Amanda Dyer, and they have been working with Jennifer Cifuentes on some of our newer shows that have taken a lot of awesome traction. 10 Minutes in Purgatory is covering Winona Earp. We have The Damned Flock covering Damnation on USA. Damnation is not coming back for a second season, but The Damned Flock is now becoming our period piece coverage podcast. And then Jennifer, as if she's not doing enough, also running our website. She and Ashley had a brainchild together, and they're doing a show called Is It Worth Watching?
Is it worth watching?
And it's definitely they do. You guys do 3 shows per episode, right? Is it 3 shows or 3 movies or 3 somethings, whatever it is?
So what we do is we take a microcast, I guess is what it's called, a microcast. So we do
10
3
minutes,
shows, 5 minutes apiece, and we just talk about 3 great shows. And the beauty of we don't give spoilers. That's what I love about it. We do not give spoilers. We just say, is it worth watching or is it not worth watching? And that was like one of my dreams, believe it or not, as a kid. I didn't know if it was going to be profitable or not, but what I know is I'm weighing in on the shows I love, shows I hate. One of the shows I hate is The Walking Dead.
I love that show.
We're making Ashley's dreams come true.
If it wasn't for The Walking Dead, I wouldn't know T.W. Brown, though.
Are you serious?
Oh, I'm dead serious.
That's a fucking
The Walking Dead is one of the worst shows ever.
If it wasn't for the TFAU, I would not know T.W. Brown, and he would not have risen to be one of the big bads of Tangent City as he's gearing up.
Know who
honestly, if it wasn't for
Hot Take Central.
Absolutely. All of you guys live in Tangent City at this point, except for Ashley, who's been mentioned, so she technically lives there. She just hasn't shown up.
But seriously, if it wasn't for Walking Dead, I would not have developed this interest in zombie type genre.
Really?
And because of Walking Dead, I started digging more into what T.W. Brown's got going on.
Terrible show.
It was a genre game changer, though.
Yeah.
But that was my introduction.
It changed the entire landscape of that genre. Those of us who write in it, our numbers went from a handful a month to releasing to 1,000 units on opening month for a new book. I mean, it's that big. It was that big of a game changer for us.
Do you know J-Bon and Singer by any chance? Are you familiar with him? He's writing some sanctioned novels for The Walking Dead.
I'm familiar with him. I don't know him personally, but I am familiar with him.
I was just wondering how much everybody's paths are crossing now in that world. Like, if you did anything with zombies, there's a zombie summit. You all have to go.
He's less than 2. He's probably 2 degrees of separation. I mean, because I edited for a lot of people who are also in the genre as well. I've been their editor for their books. So I mean, I've crossed paths with a lot of people at the horror conventions and all that stuff, and so you do meet a lot of people. So it's just whether or not you decide you want to click up with them or not. And for me, most of the time, it's no.
He was a pretty cool guy. I met him at Walker Stop.
Oh yeah, there are some really great guys in the business. There really are. But there's some tools in there too. So
well, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are kind of trying to take advantage of the whole Walking Dead thing. It's like, oh, The Walking Dead, everybody loves it. Yeah, so let's just write zombie shit.
Yeah. It's funny because if you could back up and look at Amazon at about 2006, 2007, there were a handful of titles in that genre. A handful. I mean, I'd read them all. And after the comic book became a series on AMC, there's thousands.
I love it. Did anybody else catch that? I ask a question. He says, yeah. And anyways, but
that's how you handle an interviewer.
I love it. I love it.
If you're the talent, you gotta throw it back.
Totally owned me. I love it. This is why when TW put that post up there on Terra Firma, if you could be anybody in the world, who would you be? I was like, I'll be TW Brown. You're awesome, brother. I love you to death.
White female.
Dude, you have no idea.
And neither do half the audience because they're probably not old enough to know that movie.
I know. Yeah,
Single White Female is a classic. Fuck you.
Hey, oh, well, all right. Ashley's representing all of those people I just talked shit about. So.
The millennials.
Yeah.
It's like funny how that M could quickly become an entitlement E.
Millennials. Don't worry about us.
We're not. Don't worry. We're not.
So where do we go next, Drew?
I'm worried about my fucking self.
Yeah.
Drew, save us. Where do we go next?
I think
we've been around the fucking
been
world.
all around the board. I don't really have much to fucking say because like I'm a zombie on fucking meds at the moment.
Poor Drew.
Yeah,
man.
He's the Walking Dead. You've just been talking shit about.
Yeah. I would like to give the last word to Cole.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you, Drew. I just want you to know that this wonderful place here is one of the most accepting places that you'll ever come across. And when I met all of these people and being a part of these different projects, Orchid Grove with Drew, Tangent City with Dave, Ripka with Anything, Lynn with Mile High. I've been on Sandwich's show, Ranting and Raving with Chris. That's right. And having Ashley on with VIP Honors. It's a thrill, it's an honor, and it's a pleasure to be amongst those who are talented, creative, and have a big heart. And I look forward to doing future things like with UTW. I look forward to doing things with you, Blaine, because, well, I mean, I live only 4 hours away from you. And definitely I look forward to doing anything raw and real because 2 years I have not been on that show.
Oh, man. Now that's a shocker right there.
You know, I have not been on Raw and Real. But I know I would enjoy myself because, you know, I've met Chris out of all of you before anybody else. One cold winter day 2 years ago when I didn't think that Cold Sports had a leg to stand on, he listened to my show and he loved it. And it is because of that encouragement that I met the rest of you and that I am a part of Terra Firma now. And this is a great place. If you have any creativity in your body, come here. It will be encouraged. It will be promoted.
Embraced.
And it will be embraced. Not only the creation will be embraced, but the creator will be embraced too.
Yes.
And I will close by saying thank you, Drew, for this platform. You are one immensely warm-hearted big guy, and I appreciate all of what you do. And thank you, Chris. I appreciate you, man, and as always. And guys, I love you all. I appreciate it, and I love all of you.
Yeah. Awesome.
We might not always agree, but we always love each other. You know, that's what the Terra Firma podcast, I went back to the old name, the Terra Firma Artists Union is all about. There's no niche, there's no clique, there's no nothing. It is
That's what we're all about.
We love each other, we support each other, we promote each other, and to be honest with you, it is what it is. If you want to meet some amazing people, if you want to just vibe with some creative types that can maybe help you get to that next level of your own creativity, the Terra Firma Artists Union is the place that you need to be, period.
Yeah.
Difference makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a family. It definitely has become a family very quickly.
Yeah, it has.
And that's something I always wanted to make sure that we were doing at Hollow 9. So to find that there's all these other people that are still there doing this too, and it's like we're a family of families now. It's freaking awesome.
With the 5 families.
There you go.
Podcasting.
So that makes Drew the Godfather then.
Absolutely.
That's why he's in black and white.
Yeah, he can get his Marlon Brando on. He can get his Marlon Brando on.
As long as I'm not Fredo, I'm happy.
Yeah, you're not Fredo, but you're Frodo. That's all that matters.
I can definitely do Brando because I'm a fat cunt that can't remember my lines. So,
And you're basically dead inside anyway.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
wow.
Well, that's everybody, folks. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Terra Firma Artists Union State of the Union Address. So I just want to run down the line real quick. And let's say thank you to April Rideout, Ray Rideout, Wedley Register, Samson. Thank you for joining us in the chat, even though you should be joining us back on stage once again.
Pick it up, Ray. Pick that mic up. Pick that mic back up, Ray.
Right. Pick it up, man. Pick it up. This is both of us. Yeah, you guys don't know. Ray Rideout is the beard with the golden voice. This guy knows his shiitake mushrooms. And Stacy, thank you for joining us. Carlos Phoenix. And there's so many people that joined us tonight. It is obscene. Nicole Johnson, Steve. You're sitting right there. You're right next to me. Thomas, Kelly, Eversol, Sander. Oh my God, Jennifer Cifuentes. Thank you for joining us. You should have been on the panel once again. You didn't show up. You need to be here. You need to be here because everybody loves you. You need to be right here. Chad, thank you for joining us. And to all of you who sat there through this entire epic interview of the state of Trump just gave a State of a Union address.
Cheers.
I didn't watch it.
That's
I didn't give a
Who would
shit.
want to, motherfucker?
Right. I didn't give a shit. But this one here was an epic State of the Union. What else do you need?
But we actually talked about our individual things this time.
Oh no, we actually talked about shit that fucking entertained and actually mattered. That's all that matters.
Last time we got really out of control.
Oh yeah, yesterday. Last time was more like a hater.
Jerk,
we didn't even. I don't think Drew even called it a fucking
God.
State of the Union. I think last time Drew's like, "Oh fuck it, we're just got a Haver episode. Fuck this shit."
Yeah, it really went like
sideways.
That was like the Haver without questions.
Yeah. We just watched that the other night, right, Dave?
Welcome to the Haver.
Season
Welcome to the Haver, brought to you by Dave Maresca.
That's one of the best episodes to just watch over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
State of Union 1, Haver season finale. Ugh.
State of the Union 1, Haver, brought to you by Dave Maresca, brought to you by Doers. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm amazed I have that much power. I'm like the Dr. Manhattan of podcasting.
Oh, we love you, bro. We love you.
Show up and be like, all right,
this
guys,
shit.
I'm in rare form tonight.
Yeah,
Here's
I
what
can't
I
believe
say.
you didn't talk
Doers.
about fucking. Oh man,
Fucking
Talk
what?
about
Fucking.
you want to be amongst a bunch of
holy.
native
You want to be a munch.
motherfuckers.
You want to be a
You're
munch.
gonna be around
Than anybody I know,
the
dude.
most amazing
problems.
people that you ever fucking met in your life. The people like Drew Carson, Dave Maresca,
Don't fucking
Cole
look me in.
Johnson, T.W. Brown, Ashley Simpson, Blaine Simpson.
Let's time out. Go
Brunet.
back.
Actually,
You wanna
Simpson.
be
Time
around
out.
these
Go
people.
back.
If you want to be these people,
Oh, shit.
join a Terra Firma Artists Union.
Call me
Holy
Ashley.
shit!
That's
You know,
the
I
most
can't even
racist
say it
joke
better
of
than
all
that. Holy shit! These
You can
people.
say Sanders better than
hold,
Simpson.
hold on. I did not
He's
say Ashley
exploding.
Simpson. I said
He's
Ashley
exploding.
Ashley Simpson, dude.
I did not say Ashley Simpson.
You
Yes,
totally
you did.
Yeah, you said Ashley Simpson.
I'm totally skipping over Ashley Sanders.
You crossed a pop singer and OJ,
I
bro.
can't wait.
Yeah,
You
dude,
literally.
I cannot
How
wait.
did you make this
I
mistake?
cannot wait. I cannot wait to see this recorded. These people are the most amazing people you will ever meet. Ashley
Drew,
Sanders
good luck editing
is
this.
probably
This is going to be evidence at his
hold
trial.
on. Shut the fuck up. Ashley Sanders is going to be the breakout freaking personality of
Climax.
2008.
CJ,
I'm
Period.
not the breakout
CJ.
personality. I'm just the baby of
I
the
just want to
group.
say one thing. If CJ doesn't shut the fuck up, I'm going to edit that out.